What up, man? How you doing?
Good, man. Just out here chilling, doing the thing.
Absolutely. So welcome everybody to Less Stupid. It's a show that's uncut, uncensored, and totally under the weather right now.
Yeah.
Because we had a partial rain out for an event that we were just doing.
He's out there trapping.
It does not mean that you didn't have a great audience. Exactly.
That's right.
I was a third of it.
Man, we did
Emma was a third of it. My father was a third of it. And then the rest was the spirit of the world, the nature.
Yeah, man.
So
living in the elements. So
you're actually, I'll let you introduce yourself.
I'm Kyran. So for everyone that doesn't know, Kyran Johnson. Handle me at KMF Johnson 714 on Instagram. Kyran Johnson on Facebook. You know. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. The way that you and I met, really grateful for it, was, I work at a hotel, still work at the same property. Yeah. It used to rhyme with Schmilton Eugene, and now it rhymes with something else. And so you were an amazingly dope chef at the restaurant, doing your thing. That's what I liked about that environment, was especially as this was the first job I ever worked at where I started clocking into work. I was doing all sorts of stuff, RA in college, Actually, I reported my hours for some other stuff, but that's even just reporting your hours on a time card. It's not like you show up, fingerprint, bink. Yeah. So it was a cool experience because there's so many departments at the hotel. I was bell staff, also valet, shuttle driver, part-time custodian, and then you got front desk. There's like 2 cafes, food, bev, banquets, housekeeping is probably the most important, frankly. And then I guess you have the managers, the freaking general managers and all that stuff. I could probably run that whole place without those people.
My eyes closed.
Yeah. But what's cool about you is that you are a talented artist in the kitchen.
Oh, thank you.
And I love that you're interested. I don't know if you made a push for it recently, but you want to get your own food operation off the ground. So let's tell the people about it.
Well, it starts from the concept that upon me moving out here, I just noticed how it was a very collectivist community, and people were really looking for organic, small market, produce, small market farmers.
Love
and
it.
People don't even really mess with corporations out here. If you notice, Eugene is structured so all the corporates or the corporations are on the outskirts of the city, like the Walmarts on the other side of town, like the Costco's on the
generally
other side
true.
But everything in the
Nike is about to come downtown again.
Oh man.
Yeah, and they're building basically an addition to the 5th Street public market between where it's currently at and where that proper hotel is. You used to work in. Yeah, you haven't seen any of it going up? It's huge.
Like where the Gordon is?
Oh, yeah.
All that
I think it's going to be 87 rooms at the Gordon. Jeez. Brian Obie, very pro-corporate, pro-business, former Eugene mayor in the 80s or late 70s. He owns Obie. What is it? All these very wealthy people, not to diss whatever, but, it's my show, so I'll say whatever the fuck I want.
True.
You got, the Trump Organization. It's a fucking real estate company. Mm-hmm. But they're so about their prestige. They just say, what was it, Brian? It's not even Brian Obie Properties. It's something like Brian Obie Company or something.
Yeah.
The point is he names a hotel after his dad. That's sweet. Gordon Obie. I saw that in the Rich Cigar.
Oh, okay. That's what it's named after.
Yeah. Yeah, Eugene's a little niche market now,
Yeah.
I grew up here since 1995.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I've only been out here for going on 4 years now. But I just like the culture of it all, which inspired me to start my concept, which is called the Black Pepper.
Yeah.
It's based off of just, connecting people in the community to those small market farmers and local. It's going to be a rotating seasonal menu, local fresh ingredients.
That's awesome.
And we're going to make sure even on our menu we're going to give big ups to what farms we're working with and whatnot.
Nice.
And outside of
Have you seen that Portlandia bit?
No.
Where they go into this hilarious thing about we won't eat unless the chickens had enough room to roam. Can we look at the farm? Do you know if it's close? And they just drive 2 hours to go to the farm. It's ridiculous.
Oh my god.
Anyway, but that's awesome that you want to incorporate that. I saw it through a little online fundraiser that you threw out there.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately I was like, yes.
Yeah.
And I'll be real with you for a few reasons. Like, one, you're an amazingly dope chef. You're a good person who cares about people.
Yeah, that's right.
And, like, anything, like, Oregon having been founded as a white supremacist state, having been founded as a white utopia they tried to create, I'm, like, frustrated that Eugene is becoming a major city. It's urbanizing, but where are the black-owned businesses at?
We start them.
I can only think of maybe one.
The barbershop.
Exactly. Motivated. Everybody knows because it looks like the fucking blackest thing in town.
For real.
Like, they even had to, growing up, I was like, because they got the Afro dudes on the wall on the outside. They even have to have like a little almost disclaimer on the outside. It says everybody is welcome to get your haircut here or something.
Oh,
it's like,
funny.
It's just because the market is well over 80% white.
Absolutely.
In Eugene, I think it's close to like 88 even.
Yeah, it's even.
So,
way.
Somehow it reminds me of like, the thing about surviving as a business is you just have to be able to bring in as many people as you can.
Sure.
So, like, for example, a lot of hip hop artists, even though it's still a predominantly black art form, like the majority of people who consume and are the fans of A$AP Rocky, Drake, J. Cole, it's fucking white people.
Yeah, and all the record.
There's some of the southern rappers that they still appeal mostly to their own black communities.
Oh yeah,
but
and
Logic.
all the record execs.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly.
No, there's no. How many black record execs have you seen?
Russell Simmons is kind of right.
Russell Simmons, P. Diddy, right? Jermaine Dupri, kind of.
Right.
Yeah, but
you telling me Rick Rubin's not black? Way.
Or Jimmy Iovine.
I was gonna say Jimmy Iovine.
Man.
Hey, he did a series with a black guy. Yeah. You racist.
It's true.
The defiant ones.
His best friend is black.
Yeah, dude. Music is the best.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So this is a podcast. It's called Less Stupid, and that means that it's about learning, but it's about education. It's about news. I know we're gonna banter about shit that's happening lately in the world, but it's definitely about music. It's about comedy and free speech.
Yeah.
And it's definitely about politics. But that's something I obsess over.
Yeah.
Politics is like my sports.
Man, it's crazy.
And I still love sports is the thing, but I don't keep up with it day to day.
Did you watch the summit with Killer Mike, T.I.?
No.
Oh man.
Maybe
they
I did.
Even had Candace
on YouTube.
They had Candace Owens on there. Yeah.
Killer Mike and Candace Owens went back and forth?
Well, no. Killer Mike shut everybody down because T.I. and Candace Owens were going back and forth about God. Trump and stuff, and they're like, okay, we're gonna throw it to Killer Mike. He was like, what you have here is two free people arguing over who has the best master.
Oof.
And it's like,
kill your masters.
He was like, let me break it down for you. He was like, I'm gonna tell you when America was great. 7 years after the Civil War, black people ascertained over 15 million acres of land. He was like, but they were the only skilled workers to build anything because they were doing all the labor for everything. So they were all the masons.
Why would the white people do any labor? They got people that are subhuman to do it for free in their eyes.
So after that, they were the most skilled workers. They could build anything. They could, you know what I mean?
Oh,
they were prominent after. But then that's when they started, creating like vagrancy laws and all this stuff. And, like,
Jim Crow
and all that stuff.
Freaking poll taxes. And weird ass tests you have to pass to vote.
Yeah,
it makes no sense.
They're like, we forgot you guys build every damn thing.
Not to mention, throwing away all the history and not allow,
detaching families and whatnot.
Oh God, yeah. It's interesting to see.
Burning down churches and Black Wall Street, anything of prominence that we had that we've tried to build. And
that's what people need to understand. When I talk to you right now, I want to have a show, by the way, that appeals to anybody. Yeah. Theoretically, I'm a narcissist. I want to be liked.
Yeah.
But and that's half joke, that's half true. I mean, but my point is that like people get turned off when you talk about reparations.
Oh yeah.
But it's you look at the pie chart of what we're spending our money on federally. There are so many issues in the military spending that are not in the defense budget, that are not just the fact that we spend a lot of money. For example, a lot of these contractors and weapons manufacturers, they can charge the government whatever they fucking want to.
Yeah.
For military weapons.
Exactly.
And, pump out more, and they'll just give the old ARs or AKs to some of the police departments in the country to walk around, or at least have on hand for civilians.
Yeah.
It's nuts, dude.
Yeah, man.
It's nuts. But we can't rectify, 400 plus years of antebellum slavery, or my community's was fucking held back seriously too with World War II.
Yeah.
Japanese.
They just started rounding
Horse
up
stables.
Asians. They literally just started rounding up Asians after Pearl Harbor. Like, it didn't matter what you look like. They're just like, nah, come on. Started
To
just
all
throwing.
persons of Japanese ancestry,
Yeah.
get the fuck in our horse stables right now.
Yeah.
And then when they got out, very, very, very many of them didn't get to return to the property they had, the farms they had, the businesses they had.
Yeah.
And so that's only a couple generations back. So try to tell me that the Japanese American community isn't still hindered by that.
Yeah.
We are.
Well, I think the thing that helps them is that they spend within their own community.
Right.
Their money triples over.
Have you seen that Killer Mike trigger warnings?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just like, dude, that's how they built it back up. They
Right.
invest within their own community. They have Japanese doctors, Japanese lawyers, Japanese stores, Japanese everything.
Restaurants are huge. Even
restaurants.
Even in Eugene and
Like in Orange County where I'm from, they have they call it Little Saigon, and it's in the middle of Fountain Valley or in Orange County.
Nice.
And it's literally like a 7-mile radius where it's just Vietnamese people.
Where I want to see? I mean, okay, I have a show. This is a podcast, but when I put it on YouTube and stuff and I film it, this is a show.
Yeah.
And I want to be on screen. I'm not ashamed of that. I want to have a voice. I want to be known, and I want to use that for good. But also, you think growing up I saw any Asian people on TV?
No.
Before we had, really good streaming internet speeds, and the only thing you could watch was basically they do a rerun of Friends at 6, Seinfeld at 6:30, Simpsons at 7, and King of the Hill at 7:30.
Mm-hmm.
So I know Bill Dauterive super well. But dude, Seinfeld, we were talking about that a little bit earlier.
Oh yeah,
and it's like, and it's you have a legit reason for you're not fucking with it anymore, really.
Yeah, it's just I would rather not invest money in people who think like that. You know what I mean?
Right, the Michael Richards.
Yeah, money and time. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because that's how you truly care, how you determine how you care about something. Is if you invest your time and effort into it. So I'd rather
vote
not
with your feet and with your dollar.
Yeah, man. So
no, it makes sense. Even if you're just streaming on Netflix, it's something you pay for. You are absolutely supporting it.
Exactly, absolutely.
So yeah. And it's. I even think Jerry Seinfeld is like, whatever, comedic genius. He's also an asshole. Like he just is.
He's a jerk.
And it's a New York thing or whatever, but you can't use that as an excuse all the time.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh well, he's a billionaire,
right?
But
right. I really like Julia Louis Dreyfus.
The other one. Okay,
Elaine, and I like Jason Alexander.
Yeah,
but especially the whole Michael Richards thing too. After he did, and the poster of him was really cool and iconic for a long time.
Oh yeah,
that was a cool one. That painting. But yeah, absolutely. Now, I mean, and that's all it takes, because even if it was one incident. For anyone who doesn't know, we're talking about he was in a stand-up comedy show at the Laugh Factory in some like the mid-2000s, LA. Yeah, and he just fucking goes off at a couple hecklers who are in the upper balcony who were black, and he just fucking went the most racist things you could possibly say.
Yeah.
He literally just said, "Check him out, he's a blank." And so, and then he had the nerve to say afterwards, basically, I don't know what happened or blah blah blah. That's not me. I'm not even a racist person, so I don't know how that happened. It's like,
I don't know. It looked like he had been saving that up for a while. He's like, oh man, I'm gonna unleash this on somebody, and not to be judgmental on who he is. I mean, hurt people. So there's no telling what he's going through, but that's definitely not the right way to react.
No, and well, when you play a character on a show, especially a dumb character on a show, I think that finding success after the show is over is really hard, because everybody, think about all the members of Friends. Jennifer Aniston's the only one who has a very legit career.
Yeah.
Courtney Cox is kind of balling, but then David Schwimmer, Matthew Perry, the guy who plays Joey Tribbiani, they tried to give him Matt LeBlanc. They tried to give him a spinoff.
What? I didn't know that.
Spinoffs are almost never good.
Huh? No, they're not. Cleveland Show was all right.
I was gonna say
maybe like first season, but then it was just started getting kind of weird.
And with Family Guy, I feel like spiritually, American Dad is kind of already a spinoff of Family Guy.
Exactly. It's just a different scenario.
Yep.
Different family, different scenario. You know, but same comedy, same.
Yep.
They're still, very political. Very pushing the envelope on sociopolitical.
Yeah, and also hilariously just ridiculous at times.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Roger is kind of the Stewie of that show.
Yeah.
It's like I love the idea of you have a show where everything is pretty much normal, and then there's just an alien, or then there's just like your baby who has a football shaped head because he was bouncing on the bed, and then all of a sudden you get that.
And he's super intelligent.
Oh my god, and he has a British accent.
Yeah,
I made a Family Guy website when I was a middle schooler.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, I made a little like episode directory of all the episodes, and it was great. Also, a weird situation with that show, and let me know if I interrupt too much, man.
No,
I just try to keep the flow going as podcast host. Yeah, man, it's like with Family Guy. What was I gonna say? Who cares? I'm trying to do an unedited show too.
Oh, okay.
And sometimes I lose my train of thought, so I'm just gonna roll with it. Let's talk about music, man.
Oh, sure.
Because, man, we did this painting, pizza, and poetry in the park, and the way that I roped you into that was I got you to come play the ukulele.
Yeah.
And we're going to go do an open mic tonight.
That's right. I'm about to slay.
Absolutely.
About to go up there and slay.
Okay. I don't know a non-corny way to ask you about like how you got started with it, but
in music.
So just tell me.
Oh, well,
how old were you when you got your first ukulele?
Well, it's funny. I've been doing music essentially my whole life, where I've just been around music. Like my dad sings, my mom sings, both my grandmothers sing. So when it came time for me to like start learning and whatnot, and like I just got bit by the bug. At first I was trying to deny it. I was like, I want to be a businessman and do all this. And then once I got into my teens, I noticed that I had a knack for like rapping and stuff, and then singing, and then I got a bass when I was like 12.
So you have music around your house a lot?
Yeah.
That makes such a difference.
Very musically associated, I should say. Especially my stepdad. My stepdad was he was a tour manager for Delicious Vinyl.
Okay.
So
I actually don't know what that is.
Delicious Vinyl is old. If you see the logo, it's like an old dude, or like a dude with like a hat and a mustache, and he's biting into a vinyl record. It's old rap syndicate from the 80s. Farside was signed to them. Like,
oh, okay.
Yeah, a bunch of that era rappers like Souls of Mischief.
Farside is so crazy talented.
Yeah.
But I like only know that Bizarre Ride to the Farside record.
Oh yeah,
passing me by on it, and that's such a cut. That's such a good song.
What's the other one with Other Fish? Is that on the same album?
I don't know. But you know what? Since, people have been generous with giving us 20 minutes of their time so far, man, I want to get right into MCs. And who are the gods to you, dude? I'm not saying top 5, top 10. I'm just saying who are the gods, because there's some god MCs.
I think Rakim gets left out of the conversation.
He is the god MC.
More so than anyone.
It's because he's still alive and he doesn't cuss, too.
Yeah.
That's the two biggest things. But he's literally probably the most influentially, in terms of rhyme scheme, the most influential rapper of all time.
Yeah, he was like the first like dope lyricist.
Yes.
After the inception of hip hop.
Yes.
Because it was all about
internal rhymes.
Yeah, exactly. And he explained about his writing process, how he just put 16 dots on the line and just tries to fill in as much space to where he's literally rhyming on every single beat.
Right.
So there's no more words that could fit in between those dots. Yeah. And Eminem adapted that same style. Yes. That's why I respect him so much, and he gives props to Rakim. He's like, that's my biggest influence.
Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, AZ, Nas.
Yeah.
Pretty much Eminem wouldn't if any one of them dudes wasn't around, Eminem just wouldn't have happened.
And then look at all the people that have sparked from Eminem. You know what I mean? Like, look how like how much great.
This is my theory about white rappers. There are 3 white rappers who have inspired all of the white rap in some way, pretty much.
Yeah.
Eminem, Slug from Atmosphere he's actually half black.
Oh, okay.
Or he might even actually be full black.
Okay.
But he is unbelievably white passing looking.
Oh yeah.
And appeals very much to whatever Eugene fucking people.
Yeah.
And then I would say Idea from Idea and Abilities.
Okay.
He has inspired a lot of more.
What about
grungy
A$AP Rock?
Northwest. Yeah, that's a good point. And then if you want to get even more contemporary, actually Macklemore is not influential as the thing.
No.
He's just kind of his own
and
thing.
He's newer too.
Yeah,
he's too new.
A$AP Rock has a huge discography.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I think it's not like insanely huge, but like None Shall Pass came out in 2007, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Bazooka Tooth, 2000 something. So he's been at it for a long time.
Yeah.
And a lot of my homies were really fucking proud to see him get a lot of shine for The Impossible Kid.
Oh yeah.
Have you heard that album?
No.
That is probably his best album in
the one that just came out.
It was about 2 to 3 years ago.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know
I'm thinking about the Malibu Kin.
Okay, I haven't heard that one.
Oh yeah, it came out a few months ago. Yeah,
you can tell right over here. I love CDs.
Yeah,
I love CDs.
Hell yeah.
Spotify, where I listen to a lot of my music now, and where maybe you're hearing this right now, is it's so easy to get distracted.
No, absolutely.
So listening to the whole album just rarely happens for me.
Yeah, I've been putting off listening to that new E40 album because I want to like give him my full attention.
E40 has a new album. I didn't know he had one. I didn't know.
Yeah,
That's
it just
cool.
came out maybe last month.
Okay.
It's his 28th studio album.
I can't say that I've ever even listened to 2 songs of his in a row.
Oh man, yeah.
I've never listened to his albums.
Yeah,
but
well,
he kills
California.
it on features.
Oh yeah, he does. Yeah, I'm from California, so you can't get around. You can't get around not listening to California rappers out there. Especially if you're into the scene.
What I was interested in, we could probably talk about this for fucking forever.
Mm-hmm.
In the 80s and 90s, way before the internet popped everything off in a different direction where you got all this, you can find stuff from anywhere now. It's like the regional scenes had more distinct character.
Yeah.
New York was really gritty, maybe kind of like
yeah.
piano-ish bass, hard-hitting snares. West Coast, obviously, the G-funk whistle, and some guitars in there too.
Yeah,
the West Coast sound. You get over to Detroit, you hear a little bit of rock guitar influence.
Yeah.
You get to other parts of the Midwest, you got the chopper flows.
Mm-hmm.
Now
it's all mixed up though. Now I got
and the South has been doing their thing too. I pretty much hit everywhere, but
it's their era. It's their era right now.
Atlanta is probably the biggest hip hop city right now. Not New
Hands
York.
down. Hands down.
Yeah, they're running the map.
Ever since
Migos,
the South got something to say. Since Andre 3000 said that on the Source Awards.
Oh,
when they won Best New Hip Hop Artist or Best Artist of the Year at the Source Awards, and people were booing them. People were booing Outkast on stage in their height of
Let's puff one for Andre.
Yeah, that's right. And he was
and Big Boy, who is coming.
Oh yeah,
yeah, he's coming.
His
to
son
Eugene.
goes. Yeah.
He was at the hotel even not long ago.
Nice.
What did I do? I dropped something off for something of his. Yeah, I wish I could say that I fucking saw him.
Yeah, he's man, he's cool. He's cool.
Yes.
Yeah, but but the South has been running things since late '90s late '90s. UGK came out. 3 6 Mafia. That's when Outkast. That's when it started. That was the inception of it all. But they've been now.
And are we talking about Houston?
Yeah.
Because I'm mostly thinking Atlanta, but
Scarface,
Houston is huge in hip hop now too. I mean,
Ghetto Boys,
Travis
Scott.
Yeah. Ghetto Boys is what I was going to say.
Yeah.
God damn, if you don't know Ghetto Boys and you think you're a hip hop head, or you even like hip hop a lot, children, this is for the people in 2030 and 2040.
Right, man.
Because somebody's going to listen to this episode in the 2030s, I hope.
I never seen a man cry till I seen a man die.
My mom's playing tricks on me.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Fuck, man.
Yeah,
but then,
R.I.P.
Office
Bushwick.
Space.
Oh yeah, I got this anger up inside of me. I can't talk to my mother, so I talk to my diary.
Fuck, man. Cause it's die, motherfuckers still. All alone it was the ghetto. So now we're just rapping.
Yeah, that's so funny that they picked that or just Ghetto Boys.
Yeah, and they got 3 songs on that soundtrack. Yeah. Damn It Feels Good to Be a Gangsta is on there. That's an iconic montage too.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And the guy who's most into the hip hop in that show is Michael. What's his last name? He hates his name because the really famous Michael Bolton.
Oh,
remember the white guy who's been mad at the printer?
Yeah,
they're all mad at the printer. Shamir's mad at the printer too. Thing about me with movies is, before smartphones and everything were popping, I still have a huge DVD collection.
Yeah, and
so like. There's like probably a solid 20 comedies from about 1998 to 2010 that I fucking watched so many times.
Yeah.
Anchorman, Zoolander, Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny, School of Rock.
Oh, absolutely.
Dodgeball.
Yeah.
You ever heard of the Frat Pack?
No.
They're kind of out of style now, but so the Brat Pack was in the 80s, right?
Yeah.
With Molly Ringwald and all them, Breakfast Club. And then you had the Frat Pack it was based on old school because they kind of played a bunch of frat guys in that movie, but it's similar. It's a collective of actors that keep appearing in movies together.
Okay, yeah.
Owen Wilson, Luke Wilson, Ben Stiller, Jack Black. And I'm missing like 2 to 3 others depending on who you consider.
Okay.
But they used to run the map.
Huh.
Will Ferrell, of course, is one of them.
Oh yeah.
Steve Carell was kind of peripherally in that.
Yeah, when absolutely. Like all those parody
John
movies
C.
got
Riley.
really big.
Yep.
Like all those parody movies got really big.
Walk Hard.
Yeah. Will Ferrell was all up in there.
Right.
Yeah, I know what you mean. That was a good era for comedy.
Right. I think we just got to find a good way to get people back in the theaters.
Yeah. Well, it's so hard not to be. It's so easy to not be in theaters nowadays.
Exactly.
You know, so
exactly. I just think for the community element.
And I'm not even gonna lie. I hate sitting in movie theaters.
I know.
I'm just like, it's uncomfortable chair for 2 hours. It's cold in here. Everything's expensive.
Yep. Yep. It's sticky.
I'd rather just pirate this movie and watch it.
Somebody has. Yeah. There's been some bodily fluid on your chair.
Oh, yeah.
So. Yeah, but, I mean, I was very grateful that, so I like the Broadway Metro,
Okay.
Have you been to there or have you been to Bijou Art Cinemas in town?
No, the smaller, no, I haven't.
Yeah, man, it's tight. And they just opened up like their second, they've had the downtown location for a while. This is not very interesting to people who don't care about Eugene, so I'll get to the point. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I saw an opportunity when they did a Kickstarter to fucking name one of their new auditoriums.
Yeah.
And it was a huge fat amount, but I haggled it down from 10K to 6.1K. And I figured 6.1K.
Yeah.
To put my name on a theater.
Yeah.
But I didn't ultimately name the theater after I knew that I also would want to run for office eventually in Eugene too. Mm-hmm. So simply from the perspective of ad space, I figured it was smart. But I named it after my graduating class, North Eugene High School 2012 auditorium. And I haven't seen a movie in there yet, but I'm very grateful to have been able to work out a payment plan for that.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Because I don't have 6,000.
No.
Just cash flow.
Hell no.
But
if you did, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
Why wouldn't we? You don't think I'd talk to you if I was a rich asshole with a bunch of money?
No, we would be somewhere else, like in a studio or something.
Right.
I'm not saying wouldn't be having this conversation
Where we would be is the lobby of the Black Pepper.
That's right.
We'll revisit this conversation. We're almost a half hour. Maybe go for another 15 minutes or something.
A little.
Yeah. Oh, my bad. What?
Look
at me trying to do too much at once and then forgetting to even help you out with the greens. Yeah, it's somewhere. It's in my lap.
Oh.
Yeah. But, movies, my very best friend is a film buff, and he was a cinema major in college. And I should have been a film major. I almost was. I took the 2 intro classes, did a production class and a theory class, and I got good grades in those classes. But I ended up going American studies, which is kind of like history and culture, because I wanted to be a teacher.
Yeah.
But I mean, then I kind of noticed, well, at least we're all noticing, just like moving images are everywhere now. And if you have a good understanding of the history of film and the ability to make good video content,
Yeah.
you can do a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Like eventually I'm just going to roll with a couple different cameras too.
Yeah.
Right now it's simple in editing, but
Mm-hmm.
but yeah. Have you ever done any have you ever been, into
In
making film or even
yeah,
photography?
in high school I did I was in like the film class, so I did like the daily news and stuff like that. And they had like cutting edge technology like green screen and like all the like the high tech cameras. But on the back end of my music career, once I get more learned, I would like to apply soundtracks to movies
Hell
or
yeah.
film. That's my thing. I like Quentin Tarantino style because I feel like he just always
In
has
terms of
applying music to scenes to evoke certain emotion.
Oh,
I
very
feel like
much
he
so.
always has the perfect song
Okay.
for like let's say the fight scene. Like,
He handwrites his scripts.
does he really?
He still does.
Jesus.
Isn't that wild though?
That's
to
an
think
extreme amount of
about-
discipline.
Well, it is, but at the same time, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Like
Yeah.
once you get to a level of success that he
Yeah.
did in, God, when did Reservoir Dogs come out? A while back,
Yeah.
or whenever he really
Late
broke
80s,
out.
I want to say.
Yeah. So you're in your creative process, and what I find is, as incredibly brilliantly helpful
Yeah.
as technology is, you use it to distract yourself too, and it can just pull you in so many directions if you leave the internet on too. So, yeah, a writing task, maybe a pen and paper is gonna at least not. I mean, I might doodle when I get bored or something, but I'm not gonna fucking go down a
Write a
Googling or
script.
Wikipedia rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And another thing, Jay-Z, in my opinion, the greatest hip hop artist straight up of all time. I actually don't even think it's close. But my point
For
is
Jay-Z?
yeah, and he doesn't even use pen.
He doesn't write anything down.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
he's bragged about it on the last 10 albums.
Neither did Biggie
But-
or who else doesn't do it? Lil Wayne doesn't do that either. But I mean, I wouldn't
Wayne's
compare.
just a genius in his own way.
He is.
As much as I said Rakim was probably the most influential, look at what everyone sounds like now and look at 2007 Wayne records and what he was doing 2019 music in 2007 and 8.
And now everybody's on that wave.
And people weren't rapping like that before.
Nope.
It's like
Nope.
it's a respectability politics thing, honestly,
Mhm.
with what we call mumble rap.
Yeah.
It's what trap is, dude, which emerged in actually T.I. kind of says he coined trap music,
He
right?
did.
Right. And
Him
so
and
it's been
Killer Mike.
around, but the conventions we know about, especially the hi-hats
Yeah.
and the 808s and the snares and the way they sound, it's about a mood, and it can be about a story, but it's not Run DMC lyrics.
No.
It's like
And-
do you know Made in Tokyo?
No.
Okay, he's on Hot Shower, which is my favorite song of the year. It's a
Okay.
Chance the Rapper record.
Okay.
He's got DaBaby and
Oh,
Made in.
baby.
He's nasty, dude. He's great.
He's pretty good. He's I don't know. He's kind of reckless on the Instagram.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't
he
know
has a
anything
bunch of
about his personality.
Controversy.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
it's
too bad.
Yeah, but no, it's nothing really that he's done wrong, I guess.
Yeah.
They had a video of him. I guess he was shooting a video, and somebody's hood, and they tried to G-check him. So they're like, "Did you ask for permission?"
Uh-huh.
I don't gotta ask for permission, Then that's not bad on his part at all. But what made me just a little bit more unsavory about him is that he had a video where some dude was just talking smack to him or whatever. And then he has a video where the guy's on Instagram Live hazing him or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the guy attacks him or they get into a fight, and then he's showing the video of the guy on the ground all beat up. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, if you
Yeah.
do dirt, and then you do dirt, but you don't have to put it on camera. you know.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
that's
like,
corny.
Yeah, exactly.
It's corny. It's egotistical.
Yeah,
and
like, oh look, I
weird.
just beat this dude up.
Yeah,
you know
it's
what I mean? Like,
very disrespectful of that person's privacy too.
Yeah,
you've added cyberbullying to the massive form of violence you've already perpetrated.
Yeah,
cool.
Exactly, cool, dude. Yeah, exactly.
What I like about you, Kyran, is you seem to have like integrity when it comes to artists that do things that you don't like. We've already talked about Seinfeld, or that you don't agree with, don't want to support.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is a more difficult thing to do than kind of my approach.
Yeah.
For example, I think that the music of XXX Tentacion is hopefully going to have to be regarded as iconic and important.
It's good music.
But the middle schoolers and all the mental health messages that they were picking up on, and how he, but there are incredibly terrible allegations against him, and you have to assume that many of those are true, or at least maybe even all of them are, so what do I do with that?
Sure.
It might even be helpful the fact that he's gone now, because if I wanted to listen to the song Sad, or Look at Me, I'm actually not supporting him.
I feel like it's with him, it's easy. It would be easier to just say them he's whatever, he is whatever his actions were, and just dismiss him, than it is versus like a Bill Cosby or a Michael Jackson or one of these iconic figures. For me, it's harder to let's say, like, I want to be advocates for them. You know what I mean? Like, well, not necessarily advocates for them, but like,
for who?
Cosby
and Jackson?
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like the allegations. Well, let me unpack this a little bit.
The people listening now are 37 minutes in, dude. They like us.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think they think that you're a Bill Cosby apologist.
Yeah, not at all.
Because of the way you phrased whatever right now.
But,
we're speaking off the cuff.
So what I'm saying is, for me, it's easier to separate the art from the allegations, right? Because I grew up, being influenced by these people, strongly influenced by Dr.
What about R. Kelly?
Oh, no.
Exactly. Exactly.
He straight had a fucking sex ring in his goddamn house.
But
like,
Cosby's stuff is equally terrible though, or maybe more. And so so that's why when I hear you say that of course you were influenced by Cosby, but
but I wouldn't put R. Kelly's not as iconic as Bill Cosby or Michael Jackson.
Absolutely not.
You're talking about people.
Fucking wishes.
People would
piece of shit.
People would Michael Jackson. It's funny. DJ Vlad talks about this. He's like, Michael Jackson was the most popular person since Jesus Christ.
You know what, dude? First of all, yes, that's accurate. Right. We're going Beatles, right? Remember when John Lennon said that?
Yeah.
When that was also factually true, we're more popular than Jesus Christ.
Yep.
I'm a Christian. I love Christ.
Yeah.
But that's a fact.
Dude. People would see Michael
Learn
Jackson.
Learn more is one of my slogans, my catchphrases or whatever the fuck. But fucking be less stupid.
Yeah.
And find ways. Everybody is stupid. This is not about I'm on a high horse and I think that, everybody below, it's not, I promise you it's not that way. I look at the fact that I have a wide range of knowledge about shit as being a product of circumstance and privilege.
Yes.
A lot more than my own specialness.
Yeah. I think
this is still rolling.
Oh, still?
No, I'm just making sure it's still rolling.
Okay. And I feel like with Michael Jackson, like, okay, yeah, these heavy allegations against him, but like, look at the message of some of his songs, about equality and changing the world, and like, you know what I mean, like, dude, like he was trying to give people
the black or white video is awesome.
Yeah, I'm like,
those people morphing.
Yeah,
when they're singing those songs.
Yeah, R. Kelly's talking about like having sex with girls and going back to party. Bill Cosby was,
okay. R. Kelly's only inspirational hit, I believe I can fly.
That's it.
That's a fucking corny. That's a corny thing to say.
That's
it's beautiful as a composition.
Yeah. But
And that's the thing I want to say is I think that, okay, what you're saying is that you were influenced by these people. It's because they were so good at what they did, right?
yeah, influential.
And you have to say that's true about Cosby. You can't say that he wasn't
You
an
can't say that
outstandingly good comedian.
Yeah, and
I don't like the, you know,
yeah,
the policing of his own, like, the poor black community and the way they dress and all that bullshit.
Yeah. He's real weird. He's like a real weird, like uppity classist black person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, as far as like his art, you know, he was showing that you can be an upstanding father figure in the black community in the era where, you know, mass incarceration was going down. They were pumping crack into the black neighborhoods and tearing families apart, you know, and he was on TV showing that you could be an upstanding black educated man, you know, and he's always pushed that through his art. His comedy, he doesn't curse, you know what I mean? He just talks about real life situations, you know.
Before any of these things were well known, because I love that Hannibal Buress is the one who broke all that shit.
Dude.
Basically. But before any of this, you know, Cosby came to Holt Center. And he wore an Oregon sweatshirt while he did his act, man.
Oh, man.
Isn't that funny?
That's funny.
I know that about that from a friend who went and saw it and said it was fantastic.
Yeah.
But you know what is one of the things with comedy that this is not true with something like sports. Once you become one of the greatest at comedy, your job is easy.
Look at
they love you. Once you're out there playing arenas, say anything, they'll laugh.
Yeah. Look at Dave Chappelle, man. He's like the Michael Jordan right now. I do think
he's cheap sometimes. Like, his jokes are mad cheap a lot of the time.
Yeah, but they're just who he is and how he delivers
sells it too.
Yeah, exactly.
And he fucking claps and laughs and walks back to the back of the side of the stage, you know?
Yeah.
He is selling it.
Yeah.
And I love that he did that Sticks and Stones most recent special in Atlanta.
Yeah. And it's funny because I got into an argument with Jody. Do you know Jody now? She used to work in the restaurant in Hilton.
No.
She's a server, but she's a very intelligent woman. I'm not trying to take away from that. But she was kind of up in arms about some of the jokes that he made, like about like Michael Jackson and stuff. And it's like, whatever he was saying, he was like, well, I just got my dick sucked by the King of Pop and all that stuff like that. You know what I mean? But she was
that's rough.
I feel like he was being purposely offensive to show how outrage culture is, you know, so stupid.
He leaned into it for sure.
Yeah. And she was sitting there.
The G's and the B's and the T's.
Yeah. And she was sitting there arguing with me, making his point even more pristine. Because she was like trying to like, you know, clamp down and was like, well, you know, you can't do that. And I'm just like, dude, he's a comedian.
That is exactly the point.
That's his job, is to say risque shit. If it was just you and I saying stuff like that,
out of my mouth, my man.
It was like people pay money to see him do that.
Right.
Like, millions of dollars.
You have to probe the boundaries to figure out what they are as a comedian.
Yeah.
That's where laughter comes from. It's not just because someone made a funny, rhyming, clever pun. It's about building tension. And then you release the tension once there's a good payoff. And a great comedian fucking does it in waves.
Exactly.
Rhythms. Like, you know who is a great comedian, but I will not Louis C.K.
Oh, yeah. He's funny.
Unbelievably talented after decades of honing his talent on stage.
Funny.
Right. What I actually don't think was very cool of him was how he kind of came back after a year. And I was in New York actually when he played at the Comedy Cellar again the first time publicly. Okay. And he didn't address it at all. I think that's the fact. But what I admired about Aziz Ansari, who in my opinion the things he did were I've read up a lot about all this stuff because I think outrage culture, but also respecting Me Too and the importance of Me Too and Time's Up. It's like very, very. It's challenging to critique either one or fully lift up either one when you do have to recognize.
Oh,
that,
absolutely.
Like, here's the thing. Yeah. Can I say something real quick? It's like, for example, I'll just make this about my family. My father and my mother had a violent conflict right over there.
Yeah.
In the living room. We're in the garage. And I wasn't home for it, but it's one of several serious conflicts they had, right?
Yeah.
And I could see the way, with my own eyes, there was a mutual escalation of those things.
Mm-hmm.
But when there was an incident, he actually is the one who called the police, funny enough.
Oh.
They came and they took him to jail.
Mm-hmm.
And all I'm saying is that I just wish that there was an understanding now that I have a better clarity, perspective. I'm not a young person going into super progressive college where I felt like I had to have a certain opinion and position and belief on things. So I kind of leaned into it, even if it was already what I believed.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is my mom was also responsible to a degree.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. So what I would say, what now I sound like is a victim blamer or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I know the facts and the details, and many people who don't, that's the thing. People don't know the facts and the details of a situation, and we all know that the media gets it wrong almost constantly. So it's what I'm saying is when we dismiss an entire person or a body of work by a person because they have human flaws when everybody has human flaws. What I want to see is how well did a person atone for it?
Yeah.
And really, really make up for it, apologize for it if they really, really did something very serious. So Aziz Ansari did a good job of that, is all I'm saying.
Absolutely. And his was just okay.
Right.
His was probably the least offensive out of all of them.
Right.
He came on to a girl, she wasn't feeling it, and she didn't say anything until the next day. And he was like, well, I'm sorry, like my bad, I didn't know. Like he wasn't like
completely
didn't,
because there was discussion about consent in that.
Yeah.
And there was what he kind of felt like was okay. She doesn't want to have vaginal sex, and so they didn't, and so he felt like he respected that. But from her perspective, which is incredibly valid,
absolutely,
he was being pushy, or he wouldn't let go of the idea of doing sexual things. She was a photographer that was just glad to be going to dinner with him, and so that's the thing. Have respect for everybody involved, especially if they treat everyone with respect.
Yeah.
What people who go a little too far on my left side and my friends on the left make the mistake of, I think, and this is obviously just my subjective one asshole's opinion, straight up, is that you do us all a disservice if you completely cancel people who don't seriously deserve it.
Exactly.
R. Kelly seriously deserves it.
He literally had a sex ring up to just 3 months ago.
His people go to malls, dude. They would go to malls to prey on preteen.
Yeah, dude.
Maybe not preteen, but young teenage girls.
But that whole Epstein thing is even
convenient ass suicide, huh?
Oh,
convenient ass inept suicide watch.
I'm like,
Jesus Christ.
Like, hold on.
All I can say for sure is that there's a lot of people who breathe a big sigh of relief. When that guy couldn't tell any tales.
Oh, and I think
I get
You're not about to tell him.
As a person who's always wanted to be an educator, who's gone through half a teaching program for a master's, developmental trauma experience as well. So it's like, dude, when you interrupt a child's ability to just go through life and develop in a humane way, you have done kind of a disgrace that completely outlives you.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you die, your legacy is that you traumatized a person. Multiple. Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's terrible.
An island. Yeah. I'm just like, dude, like that is insane. But you're not about to snitch on all these billionaires, these rich people. You think you're about to just live through that?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not about to hit the stand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Suicide, huh?
Okay, dude.
That's crazy.
Well, I like that we've gone into a little bit of deep territory. I used to do my own ripoff of Humans of New York. So you just fucking ask probing questions, personal questions and stuff.
Yeah.
But we are also at 50 minutes, and we're going to go to a bar, and it's going to be dope. So there's one question I always ask people, or I want to anyway. I don't even know if I did it in the other episode I've recorded. With Robert Patterson, a candidate for mayor of Eugene, Oregon, by the way. What's one way that we could all be less stupid?
Oh, man. Read more. Do more research. Question everything.
But don't read this.
What was that?
He gave it to me for free.
Oh.
In 2019, he's still handing out his 2012 common sense books. I'm talking, of course, about like 5 or 6 time failed congressional candidate Art Robinson.
Jeez.
Do you know about this guy? Oh
No.
God, he was asking people to send in urine to his campaign office. I think that's true, and he's just like
What the hell?
crazy climate denier. Even though,
Oh.
so he has a history as a scientist,
Mm-hmm.
and so that gives him all the credibility he thinks he needs to just say climate change is all a bunch of horseshit. He said it to my face.
Oh man.
Yeah, but
That's crazy. If you think
at least he's printed a book. I haven't done that yet.
that's crazy to think,
I always try to find respect and love and good for everybody in some way.
Yeah. As far as climate change goes, it's crazy to think something that's 14 billion years old would just never change ever. Like
Okay.
like, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
I was like, it's been proven that the world shifts in different ways. Like if you look at the earth as a living thing, it has which I'm sure it is. We're all living things or anything, that.
I mean, we are kind of Earths, yeah.
Yeah.
Like our heart is the core, and it's just a network of little cells.
Yeah. The earth is just a living thing on a grander scale.
Have you heard George Carlin's bit about all this?
Nuh-uh. I haven't.
The planet'll be fine.
Yeah.
The people are fucked.
Exactly.
The Earth will continue spinning on and on.
Yeah. And it has, I'm pretty sure, like, just like in our bodies, we have a regulatory system to expel anything that's harming us. I'm pretty sure the Earth has
Fascinating.
something very, very similar to that as
It's
well.
sad because we're about to wrap this up, but
Yeah.
we hit on a point we pretty much disagree on, dude, because
Yeah.
where we're at scientifically, 415 parts per million of carbon in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
It's past kind of what you would think of as a tipping point, and then it's said that we have about 11 years to completely change the way globally, sorry, not nationally, we pollute carbon before our fate is basically just locked up, and we're gonna go off a carbon cliff,
Yeah.
and it's gonna start to I think you understand, like 1 degree Celsius since the Industrial Revolution is terrible. Like it's disgusting because in 3 generations it'll be another degree Celsius, and probably in 3 more generations it'll be 2 additional degrees Celsius, and the whole ecosystem will collapse. It's a matter of how slow-mo we make the collapse.
Oh no, absolutely. Yeah, okay. I meant the Earth will take us out. Not
fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, I get you. You got me like yelling at you.
Yeah, I was like, oh no, I totally
climate
agree with
denier. Get out of my house.
No, the Earth will wipe us away way before we do it in. I feel. So.
That's why I want to make a mark with my one life that I can prove that I have on this spinning dirt ball. Is like, I want to have big things accomplished. So we're wrapping it up. I have to plug my stupid ass website and the donations because you can't win a campaign without a robust donor base. Yo, I'm trying to get people to donate $2 a month. Pledge $2 a month at Hiura2020.org. And what you'd be doing is you'd be giving me a Thomas Jefferson bill every month. And I was named after Thomas Jefferson. He's the 2nd president. He's on the $2 bill. It's 2020. I hope that you can find $2 in your pocket per month. Kind of like Patreon, which I was kind of thinking about doing. You know what that is, man?
What is it?
Patreon. Content creators basically turn themselves into subscription services for their fans. And you have different tiers where if you kick someone $10 a month, you might be in the end credits of every YouTube video they make, etc. Or, $50 a month, you get exclusive memorabilia, It's because there's so many people out there with all these creative hustles, but we were talking about record labels earlier. How do you get from the point of being really talented to being able to capitalize on it in a capitalist system? It's like a lot of
PayPal account.
It's challenging. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Patreon just streamlines it.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Any parting words?
Peace.
Swerve. Sorry that I said swerve.
Swerve.